All right, we are live, guys. Got my bottle of water up to me. The title says Top 5 Favorite Wes Craven Films. And we'll get some talking with it here in a minute here. I'm going to take a drink. I always love to have this cold beverage. It's water, always water. Hope everybody's Labor Day weekend was great. I had a 3-day weekend. Normally I'd be working on Monday, so this is a surprise live stream. I know a couple days ago, it was actually, I think maybe was it Friday, either this Friday or this past Friday or yesterday was the anniversary of Wes Craven's death. So I know quite a few people that I know here on YouTube have done some of their favorite films and talked about them. And I got 5 here. I know one he didn't direct, but he wrote the screenplay. So I think that kind of counts. Even though he didn't direct that movie, but he wrote the screenplay for it. So without further ado, we're going to get down to business here. We're going to go at my number 5. My number 5 list is Swamp Thing. Definitely a really cool movie. He directed it. It stars Adrian Barbeau. You do have Dick Rock as Swamp Thing. I'm trying to think of the guy's name that plays Alec Holland. I can't remember his name offhand, but I know he's been in a lot of stuff after this film. But it's a great plot, and you also got Louise Jordan, who also was the villain in 007 James Bond's Octopussy. Great film there as well. So based on the DC Comics character, when I first seen the film and when the credits came up that he directed it when the movie was starting, I was like, "Whoa, Wes Craven directed a DC character! Wow." That was pretty cool. He didn't do the Return of Swamp Thing, which came out a couple years after that. But I liked it. I liked the music. It also, believe it or not, the music is also composed by the legendary Harry Manfredini, who did the Friday the 13th films, most of them. But great feel, great setting. I don't think you can go wrong with Adrian Barbeau at all with any of these films. And I was just a huge shock when it was Wes Craven that directed the Swamp Thing. So, yeah, Swamp Thing is at my number 5. Now, the movie I was talking about that he didn't direct, but he did a screenplay for, and I'm going to count this, even though he didn't direct it, but he was a part of this with the screenplay, is A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Awesome film. Great stuff. It is definitely one of my favorites in the franchise, along with the first 2 films. Like I said, I mentioned again, I mentioned once before, I only watched the first 3. I might give Wes Craven's New Nightmare a chance again down the road to rewatch that and see what I feel about that. But I thought it was well done. I mean, the characters I loved, the return of Nancy Thompson and Donald Thompson, and Kincaid, Kristen, you get all of them characters, even Jennifer Rubin as Taryn White, which she went on to do some great stuff. Just checked out her movie, The Crush, which was the debut film of Alicia Silverstone. Some great stuff there. I think, this was a perfect blend between dark and the comedic side was starting to come out too more, but it was a perfect blend between comedy and the dark. Which I believe from what I've heard, I don't know if this is really true or not, but I've heard Wes's original script for Dream Wars, it was going to be more darker than anything. So, but you still get that feel, the elements that it was really, really dark. So Dream Warriors is at number 4. And, there's actually 2 of his creations here. I got the original and the sequel in here. But my number 2 would be Scream 2. Love this film. It is my favorite sequel in the Scream franchise. I would say my second favorite sequel would be in the Scream franchise is Scream 4, which was his last one that he did. I just want to be kind of fair to this. I mean, a little bit just to mix it up. because I haven't really seen I've never seen Shocker, I've never seen Serpent in the Rainbow. I can't really make a comment on any of those. So Scream 2, everything from start to finish, 97, still in the 90s. Great cast. Of course, again, you get David, Nev, and Courtney back. You get Jerry O'Connell. You get Timothy Olyphant, Jamie Kennedy. You do have Sarah Michelle Gellar in this. This was actually the same year that she did the first I Know We Did Last Summer. Just great stuff. I love the fact that we do get Laurie Metcalf in there, Illinois native, just like myself, in this film. Great stuff. College setting, college campus, the third and final act. I just love everything about Scream 2. Even the whole the cop car thing, that was really, really fun. You get Liv Schreiber as Cotton Murray once again, and he plays a important role in this. But yeah, it is my favorite sequel out of all the Scream movies. You just can't go wrong with it. So that's my number 3. So my number 1 is the original Scream, the very first Scream from 1996, a masterpiece in the making. I can never figure out anything I didn't like about the film. There's actually nothing I didn't like about the film at all. So I got a lot of likes, but no dislikes about Scream 6 because I just love the movie a lot. It's one of those things where it started. I would say it pretty much ignited the slasher genre, because if you look at it, what came before, we had in 95, it was The Curse of Michael Myers. And before that, it was Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and before that, it was Jason Goes to Hell. So that was pretty cool right there. But to give us something fresh, something new, Wes and Kevin Williamson came up with Scream. They did it. Wes wrote the script. Kevin Williamson wrote the script. Wes directed it. Just like he did the first 4 films, directed it and stuff like that. Great twist. It had a blend of suspense, comedy. It really had you on the edge of your seat, because remember the first time seeing it, I was wondering who was going to be the killer. First, I thought it was Dewey that was going to be the killer. I had no idea in Scream 1 that there were 2 killers. I thought there was 1 killer. Wasn't expecting to be 2 killers, guys. That was a shock to me when I first seen it. 2 killers. I thought it was just 1. So that was pretty impressive. And by the way, this is the only Scream to ever have 2 male killers, or 2 male ghost faces, to put it that way. And then at my number 1, it is the original. It is the first in this franchise from 1984. We're talking about none other than A Nightmare on Elm Street. Hella Lion Camp as Nancy Thompson. In the first round is Nancy Thompson. You get John Saxon in this one, first time around. You get Robert Englund first time as Freddy Krueger. The introduction to Johnny Depp. Whoever thought that he would ever be a big star? Remember in the commentary, Wes had said something about who knew who he was, and so and so. Great twist. The music is great. The direction is great. I heard that Wes based this on based the Freddy Krueger character, I guess, on a real bully, I believe. So that was pretty interesting. I think that the direction, the creativity that came with Nightmare on Elm Street was really good. Even the special effects, even like for Tina's death, I heard that her death, what they did with that, it was done in they had the room would rotate while she was being drugged up across the wall, up on top of the ceiling and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. They mimicked that kill scene in New Nightmare, which I think to this day that kills re-enhancement of that kill scene from part 1 was okay. It wasn't as scary as it was in the first film with Tina, though. I mean, that was really freaky because you didn't see Freddy at all. All you could see was Tina being drugged up on the wall and up on the ceiling. She already had her chest area split open with the finger knives, and it was Very, very effective, very, very scary, and even the music, especially when Freddy's trying to lure Tina outside and into the alleyway. When he says Tina like that, and that was really scary. Even the whole Johnny death scene, that was freaky as hell. Rod Lane's death scene was freaky. I just loved the whole sense. Even that 1428 Elm Street house was great. The whole entire cast was great in the original Nightmare on Elm Street. However, with this film here, I remember seeing it years ago, and this movie here, Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984. Again, 84 was a good year. Like I did in my previous video, I had 16 Candles. I did a video on that, and that'll be out later on this coming up week here. So 84 was a good year because it was the year I was born. So hopefully, with Nightmare on Elm Street, we do get a big screening this October for the film because it's already been its 40th anniversary already. But yeah, so those are my favorite Wes Craven films. Even though he did not direct Dream Warriors, he wrote the screenplay for it and stuff like that. He was a part of that, regardless whether he directed it or whether you directed it or not. But if you're a part of the writing process, still it is your creation. So just some great stuff. Based on the characters. I'm just looking at the sheet here for Dream Warriors. Story by Wes Craven, Bruce Wagner. Based on characters by Wes Craven. It is all in this. So I would like to know from all you guys, what is your favorite, or what is your top 5 favorite Wes Craven films, and which one is your absolute favorite? Now, if I had to pick from the list, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream 2, Dream Warrior, Swamp Thing. I remember watching Horror Her's live stream for the Wes Craven tribute, and she said I think either she or somebody else said that she could have picked the first 4 Scream films and then A Nightmare on Elm Street, but she just wanted to mix it up. But if I had to pick which one out of my list as the favorite of all Wes Craven films ever done, I love Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, but I'm going to have to go with Scream from 1996. I was just hooked on that. I was in junior high when the movie came out. I told the story once before, and I'll tell it again. I know I love telling stories, but my stepfather is the one that introduced me to it because he had called my mom up when he was at work, and he said, "Hey, there's this new horror movie called Scream that's coming on this channel. You guys ought to check it out." So we checked it out, we watched it, and that was my introduction to Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette. And I knew David Arquette's sister was Patricia was in Dream Warriors. But now going back and thinking about Courtney Cox, I've seen her in the 87 Masters of the Universe movie. I've seen that. And, I think she was in something else I saw before that. So she really wasn't an introduction. She really wasn't. I wasn't. When I hit Scream 6, to make it simple, when I saw Scream 6, Courtney Cox was pretty much the only one I really recognized out of that whole entire group, besides Joseph Whipp, who plays Sheriff Burke. He was in the original Nightmare on Elm Street. So that was basically, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective was pretty much my introduction to Courtney Cox, along with Masters of the Universe. But Scream, great character development, great story build up, great finale, great reveals of both the two Ghostface killers and stuff. Falbert and Nova are cool. Hope you are doing great, man. Hope you're having a great Labor Day weekend. I'm just sitting here talking about my top 5 favorite Wes Craven films, and we're just talking about Scream being my number 1 favorite from Wes Craven himself. I think the runner-up, besides Scream 1 would be A Nightmare on Elm Street, for sure. I just love that movie. I actually watched it last night. Out of that DVD box set that I have, that's ancient, out of print, hard to find, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't really go wrong like Swamp Thing. You can't go wrong with Scream 2 or Dream Warriors. Stuff like that. I did see his movie Cursed. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I really thought it was cool. It's that werewolf movie with Jesse Eisenberg was in that. It originally had Skeet Ulrich. They filmed most of it, and then they turned around and they decided to go ahead and wipe it out and do a whole new cast. And we got a whole new cast here, but we do get Judy Greer in that. If everybody knows who Judy Greer is, she was in the David Gordon Green Halloween franchise. So nothing more they really can say there. What other Wes Craven film did I see? People Under the Stairs. I've seen that one. That was okay. Shocker, I really haven't seen. I know Heather Langenkamp plays a victim in that film. Serpent in the Rainbow, I've never ever seen. I think he did Wishmaster, the first one. I've only seen parts of that. I know it has Kane Hodder and Robert Englund, and I think maybe Tony Todd is in that. I'm not really sure. So, just some great stuff. Great stuff, man. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys can see in the background all my stuff back there, but yeah, I got this poster tube here. That's what I'm going to be putting the Dream Warriors poster in for Heather to sign this November. So I'm really, really excited about that. I passed up twice on her at a convention, so this is the third time, and I would like to meet her and stuff. And I don't know, I might get like a photo or something off the table. It depends on who else they're going to have, but wouldn't that have been a dream if Wes was still alive and he did conventions? What that would really be like? Oh man, it'd be mind blowing because he is. I never really thought about this. Who was my favorite horror director? Because you got John Carpenter, you got Sean Cunningham. I guess you can call Steve Miner a horror director because he did Friday the 13th Part 2, 3. Halloween H2O. You can call Lake Placid a horror film, even though it's about a giant alligator or crocodile. But if I had to name my favorite horror director of all time, it would probably be Wes Craven for sure, because I just love his movies. I just love Nightmare on Elm Street. I love the Scream franchise. The first 4 films are my favorite in the Scream franchise. What can you say? The guy really, really was creative. He really was. I like going back in Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I'm definitely gonna give that a shot because in that box set, when I bought that box set years ago, that was the only one I did not watch in there. I really wasn't a big fan of it because it was very, very different. But watching clips of it a couple of days ago on YouTube, I said I'm going to give this another shot again and see if I like it. It's Heather Langenkamp playing herself / Nancy. You do get John Saxon in there as well. Wes Craven plays himself. All that good stuff, man. It's Freddy coming out in the real world once the movies are over. Freddy's being unleashed, somehow. So just some very, very creative styles that they got there, and. Maybe one day, I might be able to meet Mako Hughes from that. It'd be pretty cool. He played Dylan in the film. He was also Gage Creed in Pet Sematary, the original from 1989. Definitely, I did not like Pet Sematary, but I look at movies like that. I thought I remember hearing Mako Hughes saying something about when he was being interviewed that he didn't remember anything really much about filming Pet Sematary, but he was like a couple years older in Wes Craven's New Nightmare, so he would know more about that. So that, I have to go back and look at it. I mean, he was a great child actor too, man. I mean, I know he was on like Full House and so and so, and just some great stuff. I don't know what he's really doing now these days. It'd be really neat if I ever meet him to ask him like what's he doing now. But I think he's a couple years younger than me or a couple years older than me. I think I'll have to look it up. Uh, but you can't go wrong with cold water either. It's great stuff. So I don't know how long the stream's going to be. I just came out here impromptu visit and said, hey, Wes Craven's his anniversary of his death was like 2 days ago, and I said, hey man, I want to get this in. Here I'm doing it here on Labor Day, and what better day to do it, which is the end of summer pretty much, and we're heading into fall. This is September 1st, and it's like, man, spooky season's coming up, October, which I mean, and that is just amazing time. I got a lot of good stuff coming up with films. I'm thinking about maybe I'm going to test to do a live stream commentary on this Chromebook here while watching a movie. I think the first movie I'm going to try would possibly be the first Nightmare on Elm Street. So we'll try that one and see how long the live stream actually goes for that. It should go pretty good. Right now I'm at 21 minutes into it. I do have an idea for a video that I'm going to come up with. It is horror movie related. I'm trying to mix up like horror movies and regular and movies outside of horror films. Like because I got two videos I just did today that I'm releasing that are non-horror. So just trying to do a mix of it. But I got this wild idea. Which film was better between the three of them? New Nightmare, Jason Goes to Hell, or Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers? I will get that stuff ready for the following, not this weekend, but the following weekend after that. And I'll probably do a live stream. I'm probably just going to do the live stream for that. It might make it into a live stream since it's a longer subject to talk about. So it'll be which movie was better, out of the three. So yeah, without further ado, guys, hey man, that's all I got. Hope you guys have a great Labor Day, rest of your Labor Day. Hope your weekend was great. I know mine was, and I'll see you guys back here on Thursday and Friday with my reviews. So until then, take care.